everyone. Welcome to the Collegewise Virtual College Fair. We're going to wait just another minute or so, let everyone click the right buttons to get into our Zoom session here, and we will get started. Thanks again for being here.
We should play music or something.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool, like a little Taylor Swift. Sorry, I'm old school. A little Dolly Parton, a little, who are those three guys that, oh, you were my lighthouse, you were my star I was meant to be at.
Flats?
Yes, Rascal Flats. Who said that? April? Good job. See, we're going to play trivia now. Sorry, Tyler, we're just taking over this group.
No, this is great. Great. Filling the time here.
No.
Good evening to all of our students. Thanks again for joining us for the Collegewise Virtual College Fair. We're excited that you're here. I'm just going to go through a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. First, your cameras and microphones are turned off, so don't worry, we can't see you or hear you. Hopefully you can see and hear us okay. If for some reason you can't or that changes, just send us a message using the Q&A button and we'll be happy to help troubleshoot that with you. Speaking of the Q&A button, that's really your best way to engage with our presenters this evening. So as you have questions throughout the session, feel free to submit those using that Q&A box. They'll be monitoring those and responding to those behind the scenes. You're welcome to ask questions to individual colleges that you're interested in or more general questions that you'd like everyone to chime in on. So don't feel like you have to wait until your college is presenting. Feel free to ask questions before they present, while they are presenting, or afterwards, and we'll be happy to respond to those all throughout the session. Don't forget, this is just one of many different sessions being offered this evening and this week. So be sure to check the StrideScan website where you signed up for additional sessions you might be interested in, as well as all of the session recordings will be posted there within about a week or so as well. So before I turn it over to our presenters, I just want to show you what our agenda looks like for tonight. We are at the left column, session B6. So we are going to hear from Southern Methodist University, St. Edward's University, Texas A&M Galveston, Texas Christian University, and Texas Tech University. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Rick with Southern Methodist.
Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Rick Diaz with Southern Methodist University. I wish I could see your faces. I get so inspired by looking at all of you. And what's really cool is I learn all kinds of great decorating tips when I look inside your rooms to see, like, I like the way you did that. And I love the SMU poster on your wall because that really gets me all excited because there are a lot of kids looking at SMU. I'm actually based in Southern California. I work for the admissions office and I'm based in Southern California. So I know all of my Southern California kids. So if you're all out from Southern California, give a whoo whoo and I'll put a little comment in the Q&A box. But the hardest thing to convey what a school is all about is what it feels like. And especially right now with the pandemic, you really can't be on campus. And as you can see from all the photos we're going to show you, every campus is stunning and beautiful. But I'll tell you, when I was first offered the job way back in the 90s, I was coming from Southern California and I'd never been to Texas before. And I had this horrible image in my head. And so they flew me out to campus and I stood right here and I'm going to disappear, but I'm really here. I'm going to disappear for just a second, but you can still see me. But I stood foot on campus right where those people are standing and I looked out and I went, whoa, this is the most amazing campus ever. It's nothing at all like what I was expecting. And so I turned around and saw Dallas down in the background. This gives you another perspective. Dallas is about 7 miles away and students really take advantage of Dallas. I have no idea what that crazy thing is behind me, but it looks like I'm being swallowed up by a blob from outer space. But the campus is really, really pretty. And students come to SMU and they're really looking at primarily all different kinds of majors, over 100 different majors, but the most common ones are business, performing arts, communication, engineering, and sometimes pre-physical therapy. That's kind of another big one for us. One cool thing about our program is that students are required to do an internship, do study abroad, or do research in all of our programs. And so you're really going to get exposure to a lot of different areas. And I have no idea why my camera is doing that. So let's see if I can fix that a little bit. Oh, well, there it goes. And so you can see what our students are involved in terms of majors. But as I mentioned at the beginning, it's really hard to get an idea what a school is all about. And the easiest way that I can describe it is students are so engaged, they're so energetic, they always want to do something outside of the classroom. And so here are some words that you can see that define our students. Ambition, hustle, they're always wanting to do something. And my niece went to SMU, and her big thing, she was a civil engineering major, and she was very big on women, empowering women, making sure that they're competitive with everyone else in terms of math. And so she did community service, local schools, trying to get students in an equal level, girls, in math, so they're not held behind when it comes to advanced math classes. I thought that was really, really cool. We have 5 schools, as you can kind of see here, and students can major in any of the schools and take classes from the various schools as well. And so the easiest thing to do is, what do you want to do? And then we try and make it happen. The only exception probably would be our business program. You really have to know at the very beginning that that's what you want to do. So here's some general information about the university to give you a sense of kind of what we're all about. In terms of size, we have about 6,500 students, and we have a little over half our students coming from outside of Texas, with the #1 area coming from California. In fact, 1 in 10 of our students is from Southern California, which makes sense about why I'm here. So if you take a look, you can see that they all look like normal kids. So 1 in 10 is from Southern California, and we're teaching them how to like a little bit of Whataburger instead of In-N-Out Burger. And yes, food is really popular pastime on campus. Students love to eat, and they're eating downtown, they're eating in the surrounding area. And there actually is a light rail system that takes you downtown, as well as over to almost all the way down to over to TCU. And that creates some great rivalry, since a lot of students have friends who attend various schools, and they kind of meet up someplace along the Metro Rail. In terms of the admission requirements, when we're looking at students, we're looking at everything. One thing that's really important to remember is that we are test optional. And for us, that means the option is yours. If you send it, we're going to go ahead and use it. If you don't send it, then obviously we're not going to take that into consideration. And the way the process works is that when you apply for admission, we're going to look at you irregardless of your major, with the exception of business. And so we're looking at your academic record. We want to know what kind of school you go to. What's your curriculum? What are your grades like? Whether your grades are going up or going down. We know everyone has been affected differently through the pandemic. We really use a holistic approach to review your application. So if you send your scores, we're going to use them. If you don't send your scores, then we won't hold it against you. We won't assume that, aha, Susie didn't send her scores because she has a 12. We're really looking at what you've provided for us. So please use every opportunity to let us get to know you, especially the YSMU. Many students, when they write those essays for the supplement, don't spend enough time on them, thinking that the major application essay is more important. They're all important, but definitely the YSMU question is very important to us. What do you want your experience to be like at SMU? And unfortunately, what happens for a lot of kids is they end up telling us stuff we already know. I really want to go to SMU because of its lovely location, 7 miles north of downtown Dallas, in an area called Highland Park, where the classes are small and there's a lot of school spirit. We already know that. Tell us why small classes are important to you. Why is having a very active community important to you? Tell us the why part, not stuff that we already know. And so, with my last closing thought, I'm going to give you some words of advice. And that word of advice is that you are, when the cameras come on, you're inviting us into your world. Take a look around and see what we see. What posters do you have on the wall? Is your bed made? Is your mom or dad walking by, just waving at the camera, etc.? So I'll pass it on to my next presenter, and you're in a great treat because Texas rocks.
Awesome. Thanks, Rick. Okay, next up, we're going to St. Edward's University.
All right, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen briefly here. So thank you all so much. My name is Mallory Mazzarella. I'm from St. Edward's University, which is located in Austin, Texas. I'm really excited to get to share a little bit with you about our campus. So if you're totally unfamiliar with St. Edward's, if you've never heard of us before at all, these are some of the basic facts. We're on the smaller side as far as universities go. We're just under 3,500 undergraduate students total. And we keep our class sizes really small as well. So you'll always have a lot of individualized attention, about 18 students on average in a class. And you'll always have that direct connection with your professor, as well as we don't have any classes that are taught by teaching assistants or graduate assistants. For any prospective athletes who are listening, we are Division II, and we do offer athletic scholarships for our 11 men's and women's teams. And then we're also a really diverse campus. We have students coming from all over the US and all over the world, and almost or over 30 different faith traditions represented among our students, even though we are a Catholic university. We also, so if you've never been to Austin before, Austin has a lot to offer for our students, and it helps shape the experience that our students are having on campus. So Austin is, a little bit smaller than a city like Houston or Dallas, but has a ton of opportunities for students in terms of internship opportunities, fun things to do with your friends. We're really well known for our live music scene, food, music festivals like Austin City Limits and South by Southwest. And so there's great opportunities to get involved in things that are either related to your major or just ways to kind of make the most of your college experience. And it's a lot like our campus. It's kind of big enough to give you a lot to do, but small enough that it'll feel manageable and you'll start to feel comfortable and familiar with everything really quickly. As far as what goes on in the classroom, I mentioned our small class sizes, but we also want to make sure that we're giving you individualized guidance beyond just in the classroom. So we have a success coach model of working with our freshman students, which basically allows us to kind of give you what you would expect to get from an academic advisor, in the sense that your success coach will help you register for classes during your first year. They'll help you kind of get the basics under your belt as you're just kind of learning how to be a college student. But they're also there to help you think a little bit more about how to make the most of your time at St. Edward's. So is there something that you want to get involved in outside of the classroom that might feed back into your major or help you fulfill another interest that you have that isn't your major or your minor, but is something that's important to you? A lot of students end up being involved in fine arts or taking a foreign language or something like that that's on the side that isn't necessarily part of their degree plan. And your success coach will help make sure that you're aware of all of the opportunities that you have on campus, and you can plan ahead to fit all of those things into 4 years. And so it's a really unique kind of hands-on high touch advising experience that works out really well for our students. We are also, so I mentioned that we're a Catholic university. We do have a really diverse student body. So we have students coming from all over the US, all over the world, and all different faith backgrounds and traditions as well. And so if you are Catholic and you're looking for that experience in college, we do have a chapel on campus. We do offer Mass. There's some great opportunities to get involved with your faith, particularly if you're a Catholic student. But we also, our campus ministry office works with students from all different faith backgrounds and all of the different student organizations that represent students from different backgrounds on campus. And one of the things that really brings our community together is community service and some of our shared values. So it's not about, requiring students to attend religious classes or requiring students to attend chapel. We don't do that. But a lot of students are interested in getting involved in community service or finding ways to give back. And a lot of that rises out of what we're doing in the classroom as well, that you'll have a very social justice oriented education. You'll have a lot of opportunities to think deeply about why you're studying, what your values are, and what you would like to give back to the world. And so we see students from doing that in kind of all in their own way on our campus, and there's a lot of support for you. Students are required to live on campus for their first year, and it's a really great experience. Our location in Austin is only about 3 miles south of downtown, so you're really close to everything that you might want to do on campus. And especially for freshman students, it also means that all of the campus amenities and support systems and ways to get to know your friends and be social are kind of right at your fingertips as well. And then as far as the admission process goes, we accept the common application, Apply Texas, and our own application on our website. We are test optional as well. And when I say test optional, we are fully test optional for everything. And that's a permanent change. So you will be fully considered for admission, for merit scholarships, for invitation to our honors program, with or without a test score. And we've done a lot of work on our end to make sure that students who do not submit a score are not disadvantaged in any way. You'll also be automatically considered for merit scholarships when you apply, and those range up to $26,000 per year. So if you're concerned about the cost of a private education, or if you're just excited to be rewarded for your hard work in high school, those scholarships, as well as need-based financial aid, can go a really long way in helping to make our campus a good fit for you and your family. And finally, in closing, I just want to say, we are a small university. We really look forward to getting to know you. And so if you want to reach out to us directly, tell us a little bit more about what you're interested in. We also review applications very holistically. So we really look forward to getting to know you as an individual and a student, and hopefully a future Hilltopper on our campus. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Mallory. Okay, don't forget to be submitting those questions if you have them. We'd be happy to answer those. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Texas A&M Galveston.
Howdy. Hello, everyone out there. I am Vera Walker from Texas A&M Galveston. I am a Galveston native. I've been here all of my life. If you love water, sun, seafood, historical sites, great live music, Galveston is beautiful. But wait, we are not just Galveston Island, but Texas A&M Galveston is an island on an island. So to get to us, you not only have to cross the bridge to get to Galveston, then you have to cross another bridge to get to Pelican Island. And here is an overview of our beautiful campus and what we have. I'm actually literally on campus right now, but as you can see, we are on the water, and very well so. We are a marine and maritime-based university. All we do is highly interactive degrees, marine biology, marine fisheries, marine transportation, ocean engineering, mechanical and electrical engineering, all on the water right here. We have so many virtual simulators here on our campus. Everything is extremely hands-on here. We have a great ratio of 16:1 with the faculty. It's very interpersonal. At any given time, we have 2,300 graduate and undergraduate students here on our campus. So Galveston offers like that small town feel, small classroom, where the instructors just don't know you by number, they know your name. And you make contacts and connections with others here on campus, myself included, along with my great team. We're here to serve you. We offer 12 degrees here. And out of the 12 degrees, we have those that are both 3+2 programs, and then we also have license options. License options is great for those of you who want to drive your own vessel, captain your own vessel, and we have unlimited tonnage. We're only one of 6 schools in the US that's like us. You go through our license option in marine transportation or marine biology or mechanical engineering, where you can also get your license. And once you get your license, you're able to either have your own vessel for research, or you have your own vessel because you want to drive your own vessel and be the captain of your own ship. We also have environmental and law. So we have pre-law degree, we have pre-med, pre-dental, pre-veterinarian as well that you could do here. For those of you who are interested in the medical fields, we also have an articulation agreement with University of Texas at Medical Branch here on the island. It's a very great hospital, and we have a master's degree program with them. You start here with us, and then you go with them just right down the street to get your master's. We also have some very popular minors. Now, one of the most popular, and I like to point out to you, is the diving technology and methods. So for you guys that are interested in being engineers and something goes wrong on the ship that you're working on while you're out in the water, well, guess what? You now are licensed to go under and take a look at anything you need. They start you out here in the pool, then they feed you out to the boat, to the water where it's deeper. If you like, it's one of our most popular degrees. Although we are known for marine biology, which is a biologist degree, we are also known for our scuba diving. It is very important. It is very popular here. Here's our Texas A&M Maritime Academy. We bring people from all over that's interested in Maritime Academy. Those of you that are interested in the Navy or the Coast Guard, and you like that structured living, you're become a cadet, you dress every day in uniform, you have that very structured lifetime. We have that. Here's our Maritime Academy. You study here. So any marine transportation majors, you study here. You will also live in these quarters and go to class in these quarters. Everybody can qualify for NROTC, any major. It doesn't matter what your major is. But if you're not interested in becoming a part of the license options Marine Academy, you can do drills and ceremonies as well. So let's talk about what it takes to get here. We are also licensed option. And so anyone interested in coming to us fall 2021, spring 2021, you'll be able to do that. But here are some of the things we're looking for. We're looking for any hardships, any unique opportunities you may have had. Why you choose Texas A&M. Tell us about some leadership, community service, those type things. So we're looking at taking a holistic view and looking at the application. Those are the kind of things we'll be looking for. Tell us something about yourself that would not be on the paper. And for those of you, if you've taken the test or not, it surely cannot hurt you. So submit them. If you haven't taken them and you don't intend to, that's fine too. But make sure in your essay, you kind of give us a spiel about yourself. We take transfers as well. So students that start out at the community college and then you want to come in, 24 transferable college hours here, excuse me. And then also you can also take advantage of our great scholarships that we have for transfers and freshmen. But if you take a look at our website, go to tamug.edu, you will see that we have scholarships for first time in college. We have scholarships for transfers. We have scholarships for all of those that are interested. And during your second year of study, we also have student ambassadors where you can earn another $4,000 to just by volunteering 5 hours of your time every week. So if money is an issue, we have answers to that as well. You can see us or talk to us at Aggies by the Sea, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, look us up there. But most importantly, let's start your journey. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Vera. Okay, next up, we're going to Texas Christian University.
Hi, y'all. My name is Amanda Hottinger, and I am an admission counselor with Texas Christian University. I'm so excited to chat with you this evening. I really think that the reason why students consider TCU as one of their college options is because we provide students with that ability to have that large college campus feel at a smaller academic environment at a medium-sized university. So what do I mean by that? Well, at TCU, students have the ability to have that large college campus feel. We have the big NCAA Division I athletics. We have that big national name recognition. And we have over 100 majors and areas of study for students to choose from. But we're at a medium-sized university. So when it really comes to that academic environment, we feel like a smaller institution. Our average class size is 27 students, and we have a 13-to-1 student-faculty ratio. So that means that students really get the ability to connect with their professors and faculty and staff at TCU. We focus on something called the teacher-scholar model. That means that we want students to not just get to know their professors, but we want faculty and staff to be able to connect with students, to be able to teach students, but also to be scholars in their own right. About 40% of our undergraduates will participate in undergraduate research because many of our professors are doing research themselves. And there's always opportunities for students to explore creative inquiry in their academic subject and connect with professors. It was a business professor who told me this, but it's indicative of all of our majors and programs. We don't hire professors who don't want to work with and engage with undergraduate students. And then at TCU, we really do want to focus on a spirit of engagement on our campus. We want students to not just be actively involved in our community, but we want students to be actively involved in campus life. We're actually ranked 3rd in the nation for student engagement, and I think a big portion of that comes down to the fact that we ask students to live on campus for their first 2 years. Students have the ability to join clubs and organizations, get actively involved in our campus community. In a traditional year, we have over 800 events in the duration of the school year on our very traditional college campus, and students can get involved in over 200 clubs and organizations on our campus environment. Living on campus is key to that, and so it's really important that our students do get to be involved, but it also helps with academics as well because students are really in the heart of our campus environment. There's also an abundance of school spirit on TCU's campus. We're in the Big 12 conference, but we're the smallest school in the Big 12 conference. So that kind of goes back to that whole juxtaposition of that large college campus feel with that smaller academic environment. And we're the only school in our athletic conference where students can go to any home athletic event for free. We want our students out there and cheering on the Horned Frogs. And so showing school spirit and campus pride is a big part of that TCU experience. We are located in Fort Worth, Texas, and Fort Worth, Texas is the 13th largest city in the country, and it is in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So shout out to Rick from SMU. We're just right across the Metroplex from Dallas, Texas. If you're thinking about applying to TCU, you have a couple of different deadlines you can apply under. We have our early action, early decision deadline, which is November 1st, and our February 1st deadline is our regular decision deadline. You can apply under the Apply Texas application, the Coalition application, the Common application, and we have our own application. We don't have a preference what application you submit, so it really is up to you as the student to pick an application that best suits your needs. Just like many of my colleagues have said, we look at students holistically for admissions. And for students applying for the fall of 2021, we are test optional for admissions. We believe it's on us to adjust our admissions policies to meet the challenges that 2020 has presented students. So if you don't have test scores or you choose to apply without test scores, it's not going to negatively impact your admissions process because we want to get to know you in the application process. Yes, we are going to look at your academic background, so we're going to look at your academic unweighted GPA, but we're also going to look at your rigor of coursework. We're going to look at academic trends. We're going to get to know your essay. We're going to get to know your letters of recommendation. And the resume is one of my favorite parts of the admissions process because it helps me understand what you value in your time outside of school. These are all really key parts of our admissions process, and it's why we're going to be able to adjust to this test optional model. All of our majors and all of our programs are test optional, and that includes our merit scholarships. When you apply for admissions, you apply for a full range of academic merit scholarships, so you don't have to submit an additional application. And we consider students for merit scholarships whether they submit test scores or not. And we've spent a lot of time working to make sure our merit scholarship process will take into account many of the challenges our class has faced getting an admissions examination this year. I also think it's really important for students to make sure that they submit any need-based financial aid documents to TCU. We consider students for federal need-based financial aid through the FAFSA, but we also consider students for our own institutional need-based financial aid through the CSS profile. We don't utilize these documents in our merit scholarship process, nor do we utilize them in our admissions process, so there truly is no harm in submitting these documents. You can submit need-based financial aid documents starting now. The applications opened up on October 1st, and the priority deadline for these applications are going to be February 1st. Again, I really do encourage every student to submit these need-based documents. So now that you've learned a little bit more about TCU, I always like to end my presentations by showing you how we say hello in Fort Worth, Texas. So I know you guys we can't see your screens, but if you could play along at home, please give me a peace sign. Kind of like you're fighting on, but we fight on harder. So curl that peace sign and make it real angry. That's how we say go frogs. So go frogs, y'all. Thank you so much for learning a little bit more about TCU.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Amanda. Okay, and last but not least, we are going to April with Texas Tech University.
Thank you. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name's April Tipton. I serve as the lead admissions counselor for Texas Tech University. I'm super excited to be here this evening. I'm actually coming to you live from San Diego, California. That's actually where I'm based, to tell you a little bit about Lubbock, Texas. There's over 250,000 residents that actually live there. We actually get about 78% of our new students that come farther than 300 miles away. So Texas Tech is definitely not a suitcase campus where you're going to be coming home every weekend to do your laundry. Just to kind of tell you where Lubbock's located, it's located 6 hours away from Dallas, 8 hours away from Fort Worth, Texas. So we always want our students to know exactly where we're located, and we're on the west side of Texas. Also, with that being said, our student to teacher ratio is 20:1. Our average SAT score is 1147. We are a tier 1 research school as well. We're very excited to announce this year that we actually broke a record. So this year at Texas Tech University, we have over 40,322 students to be exact. So we're super excited about that at Texas Tech. With that being said, we have 10 different colleges. That's also including Honors College with over 150 different academic programs. And that's all consisting of undergrad, graduate, pre-law, medical, all under one campus at Texas Tech. Also, with that being said, we have over 550 clubs and organizations at Texas Tech. I was just talking to my little cousin just before I got on here. He's actually going to Texas Tech as well. He's from San Diego, and he's in the College of Business, and he's in a fraternity. So he's telling me how much he loves it. In fact, what you see here is this pool area here, which is the Lazy River, which is 645 square feet. And this is one of his favorite spots on campus. With that also being said, again, you are required to live on campus your first year. We have 19 different resident halls, 30 plus dining venues as well. We are part of the Big 12 at Texas Tech University. So lots of spirits and tradition. I kid you not, we wear nothing but red and black. Students are always asking me, what does Texas Tech look like? I always tell students it's colliding. If you've ever been out to Stanford and downtown Bakersfield, and it's colliding those two together. Texas Tech is definitely a true college town. I can't emphasize that enough. Also, with that being said, we are part of the top 5 live person mascot as well. So that's very exciting to say the least. Different requirements to apply to Texas Tech. There are 4 requirements that we're looking for. We're looking for the Apply Texas or the Common App. We do not prefer one application over the other. There is a $75 application fee. We will need your official transcripts, but really the only time that we need your official transcripts are going to be for scholarship purposes, or if you plan on attending Texas Tech University. At Texas Tech University, if you're looking for the assured admissions, that's where we're going to be looking at your SAT and ACT scores. And that's going to be for our majors that you're looking to going into is biology, interior design, business, engineering, and physics as well. And then we obviously are going test optional this year as well. Again, this is going to be for our assured admissions. If you meet this assured admissions, obviously you're going to be admitted to Texas Tech. Again, if you meet these requirements here based off of your SAT and ACT scores. I also like to note to all of you is Texas Tech is allowing students to go ahead, if you're able to, take your SAT scores. We will go ahead and take your SAT and ACT scores all the way up until June 1st of your senior year as well. If you were not able to get in through the assured admissions, obviously you would go through our application review process, and you're going to be reviewed holistically here as well. Again, for test optional students, I always like to convey to you as well, you are test optional. Go ahead and put everything in there so we get to know about you. Let's say, for an example, that you were denied test optional, but you want to go ahead and try and reapply to Texas Tech for a reevaluation. Again, we just need to get your SAT and ACT scores, again, all the way up until June 1st as well, if you want to be considered for a reevaluation at Texas Tech University. I just want to touch base real quickly about tuition as well. Again, our tuition and fees are located here for non-residents. Everything that you see in asterisks, just keep in mind, that's just an estimate. One thing that I would like to point out at Texas Tech University that you see highlighted here in yellow, if you receive a $1,000 scholarship from Texas Tech University, that's where you're going to get the in-state versus the out-of-state tuition. Also, with that being said, if you plan on submitting your SAT and ACT scores, you could qualify for one of our presidential scholarships that are here too as well. So again, if you get one of our presidential scholarships, you will get the in-state tuition plus wherever you fall within this bracket here too as well. We do have scholarships available for our students that are going test optional as well, which is our Matador scholarships. Let's say for an example, a student was looking to go ahead and apply test optional, they are admitted, but you weren't able to take your SAT and ACT scores. However, again, you have all the way up until June 4th to send those SAT and ACT scores to us as well. So with that being said, the last thing that I would like to note, definitely, if you want, definitely go on and get a Raider Connect portal. This is where you're going to be able to check your application status and upload all your information. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I really do appreciate your time and have a wonderful day.
Awesome. Thanks, April. Okay, we have a few minutes left in our session, so I'm going to ask our presenters if you want to hop back on screen, and we are going to kind of wrap things up with a last question. So I'm just going to ask each of you if you want to take 45 seconds to another minute or so. Tell us about a favorite tradition on your campus, a favorite experience that students can look forward to, just something fun we can end on that they can look forward to that happens at your campus. So we'll go in the same order we started with. And so Rick, we will start with you.
Awesome. We have an amazing tradition. We don't have tailgating. We have boulevarding. And what that is that during every home football game, we close this main street to campus and it becomes a big carnival with food and jumpy housey thingies. I don't know what they call them, but you know, they've got parades, they've got kids in little Peruna, which is our mascot, Mustang outfits. And it's so much fun. And as you can see in this picture behind me, that's, there you go. Just past the center part of it, all that green area is the boulevard. And then when it's time, people walk on over to the stadium. And so while all the people we're playing against, they were on the hot sun going like, oh, it's so hot. All our people were under the trees being really refreshed. And so they go to the game getting really excited. So that's a huge tradition. We call it boulevarding.
Awesome. So one of my favorite traditions at St. Edward's is actually, I'll also go ahead and use my Zoom background as a tool. It takes place at Main Building, which is the building that you can see right behind me. It's right in the center of our campus. And so when freshman students arrive right at the beginning of your first year, everyone is given a medallion with the seal of the university on it, and everybody gets together in a huge group and kind of processes through the campus, and you walk through the red doors that are on this building and kind of emerge out of the back of the building, and there's a big like celebration welcoming everybody to campus. People are clapping for you and cheering for you and just happy that you're starting your experience on our campus. And then that tradition repeats when you're a graduating senior, but you go the other way through the doors. So you come out the front of this beautiful building, and from those steps in front of the red doors, you can actually see the whole Austin skyline. So it's kind of up on a hilltop, you're overlooking the city, and it's a little bit more solemn on that occasion, but I really think it says a lot about the type of community that we are, that we want you to feel welcome and part of our family from day one. And we want to keep supporting you as you kind of move on to what's next after you leave our campus as well.
So we have so many great things that we do here in Galveston. Now, we're not as big as New Orleans where you would go and get addicted to the food, but we do have Mardi Gras here and we enjoy that very much. It's not just a local thing. People come from all over to enjoy that event with us. Here in our picture, you see our cadets and all of that. They're down on the Strand, enjoying Mardi Gras as well with Miss Reveille, our mascot. And so, and some of our alumni Texas A&M Aggies as well. We do enjoy in the courtyard that's right immediately behind me. I have my window behind, but the students get out there and they play their music and have yell practice. And that is a tradition here. So we have our yell practice every Thursday. Then we take and go to College Station and have yell practice there on Friday. And then on Saturday, we're at the big game. So that is one of our big traditions. Another one that we get very excited about is the Texas Clipper. So that vessel is one of the vessels that we have that students get to go aboard and take care of and drive and get that hands-on experience. That's another tradition that we have here at Texas A&M Galveston.
Well, just like my other colleagues, I'm going to use my virtual background as kind of a guide. My favorite tradition, and we have a ton of them, but my favorite is our frog statue. It is tradition to rub his nose before your big test, interview, before the big game, anything that you need a little bit of extra good luck with. You just rub his nose. And I know it works because when I went to interview for this position, I, of course, rubbed his nose. And here I am in this position chatting with you all tonight. So it truly is good luck.
April, I think you're up if you would like to go.
One of my favorite traditions at Texas Tech is Carol the Lights. What they do at Texas Tech is they actually string the campus with 25,000 lights with over 20,000 attendees as well. They sing carols, they drink hot chocolate, but most importantly, engagements. They had 9 proposals last year. So this year, who knows how many. So that's one of my favorite ones at Texas Tech is Carol the Lights.
Awesome. Okay, thank you all for sharing great experiences and traditions for our students to look forward to. I'm going to share my screen one more time. To our students, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Hopefully you learned some information that will help you with your college search. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. If you don't mind completing that for us, we'd really appreciate any feedback that you have. Don't forget to check the StriveScan website to sign up for any additional sessions you might be interested in, as well as find all of the session recordings there in about a week or so. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great evening, and we will see you in the next session.